Hey team, welcome to this 30-day video challenge where I'm going to release 30 games in 30 days. These games are games that you can play with your team at any time. Some of them include skills, some of them include conditioning, and honestly, some of them are just tag games that you can play with your team. So make sure you tune in every single day this month where I'm going to release a new video with a brand new game. And before we get started, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into this 30-day video challenge. I'm super excited to bring you these games. Let's get started. Hey team, welcome to day 8 of this 30-day challenge. So day 8's game is called Around the World Hit the Net, and there's a few options that I'm going to go through to make it easier, harder, use more equipment, less equipment, stuff like that. So there's some different options that you can do for this game. Ages, I would say anybody can play. As long as they can throw it into a net, then they can play. Equipment, all you need is a net and some baseballs, so there's not too much equipment that you need. It's a defensive sort of throwing target game, and all you need is some balls, gloves, and some defensive stuff, right? Where you can play anywhere in the field. Like I said, I'm going to show you a couple options that you can do for this game, and they all involve different areas of the field. And how you play. So the first option I'm going to go through is an entire field sort of game, right? The net is going to be located at home plate, all right? The whole concept of Around the World is you go from one spot, and if you make that throw, you go to a next spot, and then you go to the next spot, and then you go all the way around, and whoever gets to the last spot and does a successful throw, then they would be the winner of the game. So the first option would be the most in-depth part, and basically the first throw, you would make it from pitcher's mound, right? So this would be number 1. If they make the throw, you can do any sort of target. You can do like if it hits the net, if it bounces in the net, if it goes in this little space, you can make the target whatever you would like, but I usually just say if it goes into the net, then you get to move on. So the first one would be pitcher. If they make it, they move on to the next spot, which would be first base. And then you can do second base, and then shortstop, and then third base. The next one you would do left field, and if they make that, they would go to center field, and then they would go to right field, right? So if they make a successful throw all the way through all of the positions, and then they make the successful throw from right field, whoever does that first is the winner of the game, right? So that's the first option that you could do. So I'm going to do some erasing, and then I'll show you the second option. So the second option would be to make it a little easier if you have like a younger team that can't really make a full throw from the outfield to home plate. You could put a second net at second base to have 2 nets. So if you're in the infield, you make the throw to home plate, and everyone in the infield, you make the throw to home plate. Once you get out to left field in the outfield, then you would throw from the outfield, you would throw to the net at second base here, right? So then you would go here, you would throw to the second base net, and then same thing in right field. So if you're in the outfield, you would throw it to second base, and if you're in the infield, you would throw it to home plate. That's a second option for you to make it a little easier. If you have younger guys who can't really make the full throw to home plate, then you could do that way as well. And same rules, if you get to right field first and you make that successful throw, then you would be the winner of the game. The last option for this game is to make it a center. So if you're doing stations or centers, you can make this a center. Let's say you're out in right field. You would have the net here. Hopefully you would have it against like a fence or something like that, so any overthrows, they wouldn't have to go chase the ball. So you would have the net here, and then you would just lay out different spots for them. You can make it as many as you want if you have some like throwdown bases, or you could just designate some areas where you have area number 1, which is an easier throw, area number 2, which is a little harder, and then 3, 4, all the way till however high number you want. And each throw gets progressively harder. You could do it scattered around, so you could go from left to right. You could make it like here, and then a little deeper, and then farther, and then farther, and then farther. And then so each throw is farther, but it's all in the same line to the net. You could really make it however you would like in this center. You could set it up, like I said, left to right. You could do far to back. The only thing you have to make sure of is that each throw gets progressively harder for the kids. And then whoever makes the last successful throw, then they would be the winner. Now, with this game, I usually play that if they make a successful throw, then they get to throw again immediately. So they get, let's say they make this throw, and then they make this throw. They would go until they miss, okay? So let's say they make this one, and let's say they get all the way around the infield. and then they get out to left field. They make all those successful throws, and then let's say they miss the left field throw. So that would mean it's the next person's turn. But a little fun thing that I like to do is I give them a chance. So what that means is, let's say that they make all of these successful throws. They make it here, they make it here, 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 and then all the way to left field. And then they miss the throw. They are allowed to chance it. And what that means is that they can take a chance on themselves, and if they make the throw, they get one more throw if they chance it. If they make the throw, they get to continue to the next spot, right? But if they miss it, then they have to go all the way back to the beginning. All right, that's the chance, right? So if you believe in yourself and you want to take a chance on yourself and you want to keep going and you think you can make it, then you can take a chance every single time that you miss it. But if you miss the chance, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. And like I said, you could do one net at home plate for everybody. That's more for the older kids who can make those throws from the outfield. You could do one net at second base to have two nets, and you could just make a center with it and do that way as well. So around the world, hit the net. There's a few options for you to do. These are for any ages. Any ages can play as long as they can throw it into a net. And remember the chance. I like the chance. They basically go through until they miss, and if they want to take a chance, and they make it, they can advance. And if they miss it, they got to go back to the beginning. So I hope you enjoyed day 8. I hope you can incorporate this into your practice plans. And make sure you tune in tomorrow for another game, day 9. I'll see you there. So I hope you enjoyed today's game, and I hope I explained it in a way that you understand and that you can explain it to your team so you can incorporate it into your practices. This is just another game that you can add to your practice plans to have some fun during your practices with your youth baseball team. Before you go, don't forget to grab your free 2-hour practice plan. I made it just for you to help you out in your practice plans. And in the description below, you'll also see a free baseball equipment sizing guide. There's how to get more playing time. There's how to do batting practice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I made for you for free. Be sure to grab it before you go. It's all down in the description. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, this is Building Better Baseball. I'm Coach Hart, and I'll see you next time.